Aloha everyone, what's going on my dudes? Welcome to another RuneScape discussion video. For this video, we're just going to talk about what's been going on this month, the login, lockout, things like that, and stuff going forward. So without any further ado, let's jump right in the video. Let's go.
Cats is the illest. What you talking about, Willis?
Alright guys, it's been a while since I've uploaded a video. Things haven't really been going on, or not too much has been going on in terms of March in the game, obviously due to the login lockout that we've been dealing with for the past couple of weeks, which is completely unprecedented. We've never had anything like this ever before in RuneScape. Nothing of the likes that Jagex couldn't quickly fix within a couple of hours or days after. And yeah, it's been several weeks now, so needless to say, this is very serious, and it is something that they are taking very seriously. They've been keeping us updated constantly on the main news page, which is very good. It's a level of communication that we have not seen probably ever from Jagex, so at least I'm sure the community is appreciative of that. It is extremely unfortunate if you're somebody who is part of the lockout. They did say that it's about 1% of all accounts that have been locked out, so it's a very small minority. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's 1% of all players, considering many players do have multiple accounts, so at least one of your accounts could be affected if you are somebody who holds multiple accounts. So, what it's like for those of you who are affected, I really can't imagine. It must be extremely frustrating, but hopefully it's not all for nothing, because Jagex has been working extremely hard at trying to get this finally fixed, and they actually are in fact coming out with a beta very shortly, if you haven't heard, although it only is a few select accounts, so just because you have been locked out does not necessarily mean you're going to get into the beta. They are selecting a certain number of accounts, so if you are not part of it, hopefully that means your account was fully recoverable and they don't need additional information from your account. Either way, the beta is there to help mitigate any potential damage to the affected player accounts, seeing as they don't have the most up-to-date backup on accounts that have been locked out. So the purpose of this beta, they are doing telemetry to try to save the player data, but this is to help in any edge cases where you might not have the same levels you did prior to the lockout. Some of your money might be missing, or any and all player progress might not be exactly as it was prior to this lockout. So that's the purpose of the beta, to find these problems and address them and bring them back to where you were before all this. Things like that. So I believe it's like a 2-day beta and should come out next week, if I'm not mistaken. Hopefully we get more information very shortly. And once again, to reiterate, not every single account that has been locked out will be allowed in the beta, so if you do not have access, do not be surprised. I was fortunate enough to not have been affected by this bug, so if you're curious, the past couple of weeks, I've been, at least on RuneScape, been PVMing, trying to make money because I want to be prepared for when the Elder God Wars dungeon comes out later this year, so that's what I've been doing in the meantime, at least on RuneScape. Trying to max out my range setup. At the moment, I'm about 200 mil away from purchasing a Saren Godbow, and then I'll need to purchase a Eldritch crossbow, and then I'm pretty much set for range. But that's what I've been doing in game. If you're curious, what have you been doing? Have you been affected by the lockout and haven't been able to play? What have you been doing with your free time, if that is the case? Have you been playing other games or picking up a different hobby? Love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. Also, yeah, this was mainly just a check-in, just to see what's going on. Just to also inform you guys of why I haven't been uploading, since there hasn't been any news as to upcoming updates or anything like that for the game, because they've been heavily focused on this problem currently with the login lockouts. They have said that they do plan on returning on the 22nd, where we can see an update finally come back into the game, which is highly likely going to be the new boss, the basically Dagonoth Kings 2.0, or the Rex Matriarch. So looking forward to that, and hopefully by then we are going to get the fix for the Elite Dungeons exploit that I talked about in a previous video earlier this month. And also, ModPie has said on Twitter, so I guess this is some kind of news, that, or at least he hinted rather, that the PieMiss updates that I have talked about at the end of last year will finally be coming out on the last update day of March, which does technically coincide with when it was going to be released, or when he said it was going to be released, which was Q1 of 2021. This just so happens to be the very last possible day that it could fit into Q1, but he still met the deadline, or still will meet the deadline, assuming it does actually come out on the final Monday on March 29th. And it is also said that this week is a ninja strike. I don't know if that means that they're just taking ModPie's changes and calling it a ninja strike, or the ninja team has actually put out some ninja updates, which will be coupled with these ModPie updates. But at the very least, we're getting the pie updates, so I know a lot of people are going to be happy about that. So looking forward to that. I will report on it, obviously, as I do with every game update on the channel if that is the case. So stay tuned for that. Now, having a look at the following month in April, we don't know a whole lot, but we can expect your typical holiday events. We're going to get an Easter event. There's going to be something going on for April Fools. So there is definitely stuff slotted for that time. I imagine there's going to be at least one core update. Maybe we'll get closer to Elder Godwars Dungeon, maybe an additional quest or some kind of skilling content or something that points us into the direction of that big piece of bossing content that we are ultimately waiting for, presumably at the back end of the year. And yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of what has been going on in RuneScape in the past 2 weeks or so. I guess on a personal note, it was my birthday this month on the 9th, and I've turned 30, so I'm officially an old man now. But yeah, that was fun. Had some good food with the family. Didn't invite anybody over because we're still not out of the woods with the pandemic and whatnot. So that being said, wasn't a bad birthday. So yeah, I guess I'm going to close out the video there. Let me know down in the comments below, what have you been doing since we last spoke? Are you locked out from the game? Were you not affected at all and you've just been playing RuneScape this whole time? Are you excited for the Rex Matriarchs? Are you going to be doing them on launch, camping them for the new drops? Have you been camping the Dagannoth Kings in the meantime, trying to make some quick cash? Or maybe stockpile on some rings so that you can have them on launch when the upgrades for those rings come out? I myself am definitely going to be checking out the boss. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to be camping it for an extended period of time. It all depends on how the mechanics play out and if they are fun. And we'll see where the drop table sits in terms of the new items introduced and how they're going to function in the market, as well as, the common drops and how much that means this boss will make per hour. All that will really determine just how much I'm going to engage with this piece of content. What are your thoughts on the rings themselves? Some are obviously much more powerful than others. Some are basically useless right now. They could see use in the future, but yeah, just let me know about anything, discussed in this video. Love to hear it. Love to be part of the conversation. And I guess I'll see you next time. Presumably, unless something comes out, it will be when the Rex Matriarch launches on Monday. Fingers crossed. With that, I'm going to wrap up the video. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed yet and you want to stay up to date on all things RuneScape related, then hit that subscribe button. Anyways, I appreciate you watching. I am out. Aloha.